What's going on, Nunners? It's your boy Terrell the Ascended. Before we get into this video, I'm gonna need you to drop a subscription, give me a like, follow your boy, help your boy on this YouTube journey. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Enjoy, guys. Okay, let's get this done. So, Nago matchup chart. I've been contending with a lot of the Celestial players, as some of y'all know. It's the top floor in the game, and a lot of those guys are actually pretty strong. At least for me. They play much. I want to say they play marginally better than the people on floor 10. So, I mean, I take this as a grain of salt. I mean, it's just my list. Freaking camera's still flickering. I'm gonna get a new camera eventually, but yeah. So we're gonna start with his winning matchups. First of all, I don't think Nago has any super duper hard winning matchups. And even then, I don't feel like it's too far out of the realm of where the characters he just beats like that hard are that bad. If that makes sense. I don't really think Nago wins any matchup substantially. I think a lot of his matchups are closer than people think they are. So that's the way that's one reason I have like this. I don't think he truly has like a 7-3 or a 3-7. I think it's all pretty close. I think it's like 6-4, 5-5, 5-4, 6. That's what I think anyway. Some people might not see it that way, but that's what I think. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with the matchups that he wins. I'm gonna make this one on the spot since some people wanted me to make the Tekken one on the spot, but that would have taken way longer, so no. But this one, I'll do it since the roster is pretty small. Freaking camera. So 6-4, I would easily say Potemkin is here. As long as you play the waiting game and play patient, there's not really anything he can do. Right, you have answers to Mega Fist. Mega Fist is tricky, it's fast. You just have to be paying attention. You just can't get antsy. A lot of times, I've probably seen in some of my videos, or a couple of videos where I fight a Potemkin and I get antsy and I just get crapped on. But that's literally just the whole thing. As long as I just play slower than the speed I'd be trying to play normally, then this character is really not a threat to you. You just don't let him in, and you're Nago. You get one good, you will get one, not even really good, just a decent combo, and he's locked out of your range for the rest of the game. He's locked out of his primary range. There's nothing he can do. So I think that's right there. But the reason it's not a 7-3 is because if he does get in there, then it might be over, because you are one of the few characters that kinda can't escape Garuda pressure, especially in the corner. Like, you're too big, so he can work you over, definitely. So that's why he's a 6-4. The Secretary of Absolutely No Defense is here. It's pretty much the same thing, except he has a bit more mobility since he has an air dash. So it's a little bit easier for him to start his pressure, but you can kind of force him out and then beat him down. So it's not too much of a trouble. It's just like, I feel like Gold Lewis's game plan, and this is speaking from somebody as just somebody who fights him. I don't really know a ton about him besides Behemoth Typhoon, right? But he feels like a character who beats you because you were blocking, right, and not FDing, right? He really punishes you for not FDing his pressure. So I feel like he can kind of stay on you, and that JD is gross and really, really fast. It's almost as bad as Megafist. It might be worse. So he can get to you, right? Unlike Potemkin, he can reliably get to you, right? So Go Lewis can be a problem, but it's a 6-4, right? Like you still have a large advantage over him. So, but it's not like it's impossible for him to win, right? I think Faust is a 6-4. I've personally never had trouble with a Faust. If a Faust just resolves to run away from you the entire game, he can definitely like square up, so to speak. But at the same time, he doesn't really have anything super threatening to you. So I still feel like Nago kind of bodies him, right? Like the one thing that makes Faust really difficult is his range. He does have his range. Again, he has his far away stuff. But I feel like new clone tears him up in neutral, right? Like he has to stay in the air if he wants to get anything started. And clone just brings you over there. Then you knock him out the sky with JD. Maybe get a wall bounce combo or something, and then you just go ham on him because he doesn't really have anything to stop you. So the character, like I think Nago is pretty cleanly wins this one. But again, it's not like it's not possible for him to just completely choose to never come near you. But unlike other characters that we're going to talk about, he also cannot just stop you from getting in your range. You're going to get in your range if you're playing smart. I'm going to also put Anji here. I don't think Anji's a threat to this character. Anji's range is well outside of Nago's, and the range that Nago can play at, the little twirly guard point, you can hit it at max range and then just like leave. Like you don't actually have to worry about it from my experience. And again, like if he wants to go for like that stuff close to you, you can just command grab him or try to throw him. Like you have your options. He does a bunch of damage, but you have extremely solid options against this character, so it's not like he's going to just bop you or anything. He's not really that threatening at all to me. He's probably the least dangerous character to you in the game, honestly. If I had a 7-3 category, I would put Anji in there and Anji only. Because even when Anji's on top of you, it doesn't feel dangerous. Like, he does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't feel dangerous enough to really threaten somebody like Nago. Let me go ahead and put Jacko here. I think we beat Jacko because her pressure is godlike. She's a really strong setup character, but at the same time it's just kind of like you blow through her setup and then she dies. So I mean, she can't stop you from being on top of her. She has the tricky setups, but at the same time, all that work just to get cut, you know. Nago's looking at this chick like Thanos, like all that for a drop of blood, you know. So nah, I don't think that's in her favor at all. I will say, I think Ino. I want to say Ino is in his favor, but it can also be even because she's really mobile. I'll save Ino. I'll come back to her. Freaking camera. But yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll put Melia here. I'll put Milia here. I'm putting Milia here almost exclusively because of how squishy she is to Nago. I actually think she's pretty decent against Nago because of her mobility. Right? She can actually just weave around the lag of Nago's moves. But all she can really get is like sweep setup, right? Sweep setup. Sweep setup. It's pretty much the whole game. I mean, you can do some other stuff, but it takes so many hits for you as Milia to actually kill Nago, and that's extremely disheartening. So it's like, that's a pretty high toll, you know. So I would definitely say that is in Nago's favor. I have a little bit trouble with it, but that's just because I haven't fought enough Milias. There's not really a lot of Milias to fight, at least when I've been playing on not a Celestial or even in floor 10. It's really rare for me to see Milias. I think that's really all of the straight up winning matchups. I'm gonna move to the evens. I'll start with May. May's got some pretty redonkulous normals that can actually do something against Nago's normals. Obviously, I being Dolphin is really good. But for such a small girl, her damage is really freaking high too. So, like, she can hurt you just as bad as you can hurt her. I think the neutral is definitely in. No, I won't say that. She can set you up from a range, which is very interesting to deal with. This is another matchup that I don't have a ton of experience in. I had a friend that was playing quite a bit of her at first, and while it was obscenely annoying to get to her, it never really felt like it was tough, but it didn't feel easy, but it didn't feel hard either. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like if I mess up, I'm just gonna get hit or lose or whatever. And if they mess up, then they're gonna get hit or lose or whatever. So I feel like it felt pretty even to me. It felt even to me. So that's the best way for it to say it. It feels even to me. Maybe not to some other Nagos out there, but it feels even to me. Okay. I'm definitely putting. I'm gonna go ahead and do Soul. Soul is even. I think, me personally, before the nerfs, Soul was winning. As in, Soul won the matchup. Like, Soul was very strong. But I feel like the nerfs made it a lot more manageable to deal with his best tools. So I think it's a solidly even. He can still rough you up, but you can rough him up, right? You both have a lot of good tools, right? The only difference is you have more damage, he has mobility. But you both have stunning damage, and he has a good health pool to really scrap with Nago. And he has good buttons to play with against Nago. So you're just gonna play some neutral. Freaking camera, bro. But you're just gonna play some neutral. That's really all that is. Axel, I'm gonna put as 5/5. I actually started fighting Axel the other day, and I played a few games with a couple Axels, and now it doesn't feel as bad. It's genuinely not as bad. It's still annoying because he's Axel, but it's genuinely not as bad. It's way more manageable, because when Axel tries to throw his stuff, then you can toss out Clone. Right? This is another matchup that was really made easier by Clone being buffed, so it really helps. That Clone buff really helps this matchup. So Axel, I think, is definitely even now. I don't think he quite wins. I don't think Nago quite wins now, but it is definitely even. He has a tool that can reliably deal with him. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in here. I'm gonna put all three of these characters in even. That's Leo, Geo, and Ino, because to me, all three of these characters are in here for the exact same reason. Nago can out neutral the hell out of them, and can potentially blow them up, sort of, except like Leo. Leo doesn't really get blown up like that, but you can hurt them real bad, and your neutral is better than theirs. But these characters can get an opening and then lock you up. Alright, Geo plays the traditional rushdown style. You're not really trying to mix them up, you're just pressuring them. Right? And then using your basics to trick them up. Leo and Eno are playing the infinite mix game, so you're just having to take a guess and hold back and guess what they're gonna do, and then sometimes you just get rolled. That's just really how it is with those characters. Sometimes you just get rolled, right? That's the nature of a rushdown character. There wouldn't be very good rushdown characters if it wasn't just like that sometimes, right? But one thing to note is that if you get rolled because they were mixing their options properly, fine. But you don't ever want to get rolled trying to do the same defensive option. You know, that's really what it is. You just don't want to get rolled doing the same defensive option. So as long as you force them to mix it up, then you know it's you just got to hold that, right? Otherwise, don't let them in. Happy Chaos. I'm gonna stick him in this gray area because we don't know crap about that dude yet. Kai is even. I would have put Kai before the clone buff. I would have put Kai in losing for Nago because Kai's neutral is way better. Well, not way better because of the hit confirms, but Kai's neutral buttons were stronger, still are kind of stronger than Nago's. He can contest all of Nago's round starts. He's really, the fireball was really, really annoying to deal with. Kai could kind of just run away and chuck fireballs at you, and there was nothing you could really do about it. You had to be at a certain distance for clone. Now you can just clone right through it. You can pretty much clone on reaction to any fireball thrown at you from any character. But I think the thing about Kai is Kai doesn't have damage, and his mix is mad seeable. So you kind of just have to play solid. He has to play solid. You won't really get rolled. If you're losing to Kai, he's just out neutral you. But that's what Kai does. And that's one of Nago's biggest strengths. So being able to, for the sole reason, at least for me, of being able to contend with Nago in neutral, I've got him right here. That's pretty much why I have him right here. He's definitely not an easy matchup. And Kai is probably the character I have fought the most in this game. So I would say it's dead even. The only advantage Nago has over Kai, like I said, I think I said it earlier, what is that Nago has more damage that he can throw out in neutral off of a neutral exchange. This is a matchup where you, as the Nago, want to maximize your damage every single time, right? And then force a neutral interaction. Right, because if you maximize damage, 9 times out of 10 you'll end up with 2 stocks of blood, which lets you start out neutraling him, kind of, because he's still really good at it. The character's so good at neutral. I can't tell you how many times my freaking 2C has been counter hit with freaking his sweep. It's freaking ridiculous, man. So you still have to be very careful. He still has some pretty good lockdown tools that make you have to hold his pressure. So I think it's pretty even. And the last 3 characters are going below. Chip. I know he dies in one combo. I've seen it all. But playing against this character is difficult, even for the likes of people like Hotashi, like Fame96, like me. But I'm not on that level, obviously. So, but the point is, the character is obscenely hard to deal with because he has Milia's speed and kind kind of a mix between Leo and Ino's mix, right? It's not super duper potent, like, oh my god, he just got a complete full combo off of this one mix. It's just kind of like, man, I got hit by that, and then he does it again, command grab, does some more nonsense, command grab. You know, he can really mash the pressure on, right? Like, it's really easy to mix people up with him, and his aggression is A+. So I think he still beats Nago. I thought he beat Nago before. I definitely still think he beats Nago now. Substantially, obviously not, because he can die in one hit. but like, let's be real here, chip players. Like, if this character didn't die in like 2 hits, he would be obscenely broken just off of that, combined with everything he has now. Like, come on now. Ramlethal, I think Ram beats Nago simply because I think she's a better Nago. I've said this before. I think she plays Nago's game better than him because her normals reach farther. It's way easier to keep somebody locked up. Way easier. It's brain dead. It is brain dead to lock somebody up. And then the freaking stagger pressure with the Rekkas, like, you have to guess on the mugs, bro. She can lock you up clean. Nago wants to do the same thing. He got to spend some blood, dog. Yes, Nago has command grab, but this character's got solid damage. You can literally do the exact same combo, or your block string as your combo. It's the same thing. Oh, they got hit. You literally just keep cycling it, you know, and you're going right into your next one, right? She's got really good options against Nago. 6P is stupid because it beats everything after spin unless you go for a cheeky like 2K or a sweep, but that leaves you open to other options. So I think that character is super good against Nago. If I had to have a 7-3 matchup, it wouldn't be that. But it's close. I think it's very close. I think that would possibly be like a 65-35. Possibly. Or, I mean, 35-65, whatever. But it's not that terrible. Like, maybe I'm just not fighting good enough Rams, but I don't think it's quite terrible enough to go that far. However, if I had to put a 7-3 matchup, I would definitely put Zato there. Okay? I think Zato Nago is terrible. I think it's just awful. The more I learn about this matchup, the more I study the matchup, the more I work out my counterplay for this matchup, the more it just feels impossible. Like, if you watched the Red Bull Kumite and watched Uriel Legion versus Gobo, it just looked like a raffle stomp, right? It just looked terrible. It never looked like Gobo didn't have control of the match. And people can be like, oh no, it's just Gobo playing solid. No, that character Zato is too strong, bro. At least against Nago, because Nago specifically doesn't have options to just kind of get him out and like. Nago doesn't have panic moves. His panic moves are moves that can be easily countered, right? If he tries to like mash, you can literally mash back because you have a longer jab range, or at least a good crouch jab range. So it's like, and then you're stuck in the corner and you can't get out. You're too big to jump out, and you can't run out. You can't dash out because you literally don't have those options. And Fukyo doesn't go far enough to like get you under an opponent unless they just jump clean high. So you are sitting there locked in block stun the entire time against this character. You're stuck there unless you have meter, while he's building and building and building your risk gauge, cranking that mug, and then pulls up with a pose and command grabs you. That's another thing. A pose is dang near impossible for Nago to deal with because he doesn't have the mobility. He's got to spin something or just try to not swing when a pose is up. So, like, you can play, like, even if you have good Zato killing power, which I have pretty good Zato killing power myself. Zato killing sense. But even if I'm ready for it, it can be just that easy to lose. Like the mobility that he has to just be able to rocket himself into you from dang near full screen, from half screen, or just straight fly out of your pressure and just be like, ha ha, I'm above you, stupid. Like, what? The character is dumb. I don't care what anyone says. Like the other two, Chip and Ramlethal, if y'all think they 5'5", I could be like, I can see it. I could see it. But Zato, hell no. Zato is a bad matchup. It is a bad matchup. Once you are locked up, you are stuck there unless you have meter or burst. And you better read the next option correctly, because you get hit with true block strings and you're stuck there. You better block. You better block that quick little tap dust overhead. Shoot, you just got opened up. You take a full combo. Oh shoot, I try to get onto you. You oppose at the last minute. Get counter hit with that 2H. Lose over half your health. He can damage the crap out of you. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. Zato was a bad matchup. This will be the only matchup I put in 7-3. It might. I think this matchup could. Well, that's 3-7. Whatever. But this would be the only matchup that I would personally say is a strong contender for being a 3-7 matchup. But the only reason I won't say it's a 3-7 matchup is because Zato can still die in a couple hits. 2 good openings and he will die. That's the only reason it's not a 7-3 or in Zato's favor. So, but there you guys have it. This is my Nago matchup chart. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Man, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.